What's going on, everyone? In this video, I will be talking about who would have won if Levan Saginashvili and Denis Cyplenkov arm wrestled in their prime. We've had this debate for a while now, and it's about time I put it to rest. We don't know if Denis will ever be as strong as he was back in 2015, but it will be interesting to do a step-by-step analysis to see areas in which Levan is stronger and vice versa. The things which I will be comparing are bicep strength, finger/wrist strength, side pressure, endurance, and experience. It's possible that someone might be stronger in 4 out of 5 of these things and still lose, so this method is not 100% accurate. At the end, I will be giving my verdict as to who would have won if both arm wrestled in their prime. Beginning with bicep strength, I think there's no doubt that Denis Cyplenkov had the strongest bicep of any human being, maybe the strongest biceps of all time. He strict curled 113 kilograms, which was the world record at the time. It was beaten only this year by a margin of 1 kg, and I'm sure if Denis was as strong today, he would have easily broken it again. He also cheat curled 170 kgs, which I think is something nobody has ever done. On the other hand, Levan cheat curled 142 and 135 kgs. His form at curling 135 kg is much cleaner compared to Denis. Levan did the 135 kg curl sitting and not being able to move his lower body to generate extra momentum. On the other hand, Denis's form is slightly worse than Levan in my opinion, but since Denis did the 170 kg cheat curl, I would have to say Denis is the winner of bicep strength. Moving on to wrist strength. I'm sure people would agree that Levan's wrist is the strongest of any arm wrestler at this point. Nobody in the past 3 to 4 years has been able to bend his wrist back, even though some might say Ungurbayev did take his wrist, but in my opinion, that was only possible because Ungurbayev was extremely fast and not because of his strength. Unfortunately, there is no footage of Denis doing wrist curls. The closest thing to wrist curl was finger strength test, and Denis was easily able to pull 55 kg on that test, whereas Levan pulled 81 kg on that test. There's also a video of Levan wrist curling 100 kg for 1 rep. He also said that he does 90 kg wrist curls for 3 to 4 reps when he's training for a big match. The biggest confirmation for Levan's stronger wrist is the match between Dave and Levan compared to Dave versus Denis. Dave was never able to take Levan's wrist, whereas Denis had his wrist compromised in almost every round in 2013. So there's a clear winner. Levan's wrist is stronger than Denis's. Moving on to side pressure. To be honest, I think Levan takes this one as well. The toughest opponents Denis faced, he always had a long back-and-forth battle before victory. Denis mostly used his bicep strength rather than side pressure. On the other hand, nobody in the last 3 to 4 years has been able to stop Levan's side pressure except Vitaly, and that too only lasted for a few seconds. So Levan Saginashvili is again the clear winner. Next is endurance. When it comes to endurance, Denis has shown on numerous occasions that he can last for a long time and still be victorious. The most famous example of Denis's phenomenal endurance was his match against Richard Lupkus. Even though Denis pulled several guys before that match, he still managed to get the win. Levan, on the other hand, has been so dominant lately that his matches don't last for more than 10 seconds, so his endurance is pretty much unknown at the moment. In his early career, though, he had many prolonged matches, but he didn't always win. So when it comes to endurance, I think Denis would have the upper hand. Next, we have experience. I would like to clear some confusion people in the arm wrestling community have. Just because Levan is a powerhouse, people assume that he lacks experience or the proper technique. In my opinion, he is a very experienced arm wrestler with an unusually strong arm. He said in one of his videos, "Some people train and become good top rollers. Some train to be good hookers, but I train every aspect of my arm. So no matter what my opponent brings to the table, I'm ready to go anywhere in the match." But when it comes to experience, I think Denis would have an advantage. Denis has been arm wrestling for a longer period of time than Levan, and therefore has a higher table IQ. So it will not be fitting to say that Levan has more experience than Denis. So this one goes to Denis as well. Even though Denis is the winner in 3 out of 5 of the measures, Levan would have still beat Denis in my opinion if they both arm wrestled in their prime. This is because Levan has dominated in the last 4 years like nobody has ever done before, not even Denis or John Brzenk. In my opinion, current form of Levan is the strongest arm wrestler of all time. John Brzenk is definitely the greatest, but if we're talking table strength, then Levan is definitely the strongest of all time. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Strength Extras, and I will see you guys in the next video.